Hey guys, just finished watching Daredevil Season 3, Episode 12, One Last Shot. Wow, what an episode. So, this episode was pretty interesting. I mean, you have the return of Vanessa. I think that was an interesting dynamic, how she kind of, as soon as she arrived back, she felt a little bit off and stuff. There was something going on with her and stuff, and I think it was going to be interesting to see. And I kind of expected that she was going to reveal that she fell in love with someone else out there, and I think that would kind of send him crazy, and I kind of wanted to see that. Maybe she fell in love with one of, especially when she started saying that she was surrounded by his bodyguards all the time, how, maybe she fell in love with one of them type thing. I think that would have been a messed up situation. But now that I'm thinking about that, it really wouldn't work out. I don't think none of his bodyguards that he hired to protect her type thing would ever do that, because they're so terrified of him, right? So I don't think that would ever make sense. But for her to kind of fall in love with someone, I could see that type thing. And I think that would have been an interesting idea, but instead she just feels lonely because she's not involved in his life, and throughout the episode she becomes more and more involved in his life, and I think that was just kind of an interesting play there. But then we see here in this episode, we see the return of Nelson Murdoch, and I think that's really it's really interesting. It's really cool seeing that back. I was really happy to see the two of them back. They use Nadine to try and get that Fisk and stuff, and that was really cool seeing that. And they was so close, and every time it was such an interesting thing how things were going. But as soon as everything was all good and they were just outside of the courtroom, and Ray Nadeem had his gave his confession and stuff in the court and stuff, and everything was going good, I had goosebumps because I knew something was going to go bad type thing. So that was just so cool the way they were able to do that. And that opening fight scene where Ray is walking around with Matt as Daredevil, and he's telling him how to go and stuff, that was really cool the way they were playing on that. And I think it was kind of interesting to see as to kind of how things were going to go with that, and how that kind of fight scene played out was kind of fun. How he had to fight, but he had to keep his secret identity at the same time. I think that was really an interesting way to play with it here. So it's really cool to see how things all went down with that. It'd be cool to see where things trying to go with this. We also see Karen Page go to Ellison so he can get a press conference, so she can kind of get all the information out there. And I'm glad that she didn't just kind of, oh, hey, I got the exclusive story for you, let me get it out on the page type thing, and that's how she gets her job back, because then, like I said, that would have been kind of very cliche if they would have done stuff like that. So all in all, I'm kind of glad with the way things are going with her story. I'm not sure as to where she's going to go after this, because she has no job, and where the things are going to go with. I'm really looking forward to seeing as to where things kind of go here. At the end of the episode, we see that Ray kind of goes back to his house, and he waits for Fisk to send some guys, and he sends Poindexter to kill him. And that was an interesting idea to see as to where things are going to go with that. I mean, it looked like, when you shot him, Poindexter shot him outside, it looked like the neighbor's light did flick on just at that, but I doubt that, they're going to be alive to even see anything. I think that even if someone does see it, he's going to shoot. He'll probably kill the neighbors, for seeing it. And then if someone else sees that, well, they're just going to be quiet because, they were killed just for seeing it, right? So I think that is going to be an interesting idea to play with that, to see where things are going to go with this. And just like every season of Daredevil, we're getting into the last episode, and they have nothing. They have no power. Fisk is completely in control. So I think it's going to be cool to see as to where things go with this. And I could see this being the point where someone is like, maybe Karen could be like, I think it's time to call Frank Castle in. And I think that would be awesome if the next episode ends with Frank Castle shooting it, so that Daredevil shooting Wilson Fisk, so that Daredevil doesn't have to go that far. And, he can give him a speech kind of just saying how, that's my thing to go that far. This is not on you. You're the hope, just like kind of like the Oliver Queen message to Barry Allen in the first episode of The Flash. You can do the things that I can't do. You can give people hope in a way that be a hero in a Flash. And I think that is an interesting idea, is if he can do that and kind of redeem the costumes. I think it's going to be cool to see as to where things go with this. Is there going to be any redemption from this? Karen Page has put it out there, the idea that, it's not all this killing is not the real Daredevil. So I think it's going to be cool to see as to where things kind of go with this at the end of this season. I'd love to see Melvin Potter maybe make a different suit for Daredevil, and maybe he can go yellow and then go with that and go back in yellow, just like in the storyline. I think it's a Jeff Loeb storyline who runs Marvel TV type thing. So I think it could be cool to bring that storyline in for season 4, and or for later on if this gets picked up again for another season 4, or if it's going to be moved to Disney's streaming. It's unclear with all the canceling and stuff. So fingers crossed where things are going to go with this show. But I think ending this next episode with him getting the yellow costume could be a different way to kind of rebrand himself and get people, and he can't go back into the red costume because not everyone's going to be afraid of it. Some people might have heard what's on the news and he might be able to redeem it a little bit, but there's no way after so much has gone down with that red costume and it's done so much negativity that there's no way, even if it gets redeemed, he can get back into that costume type thing. So that's going to be something to see, and it's going to be something really fun to see as to where things try to go with that, because I feel like he can't keep going around in this black costume. It's a great costume and everything, but it just doesn't have enough padding into it. So I think it'd be cool, and he needs to be that symbol of hope type thing. So I think that could be something with the yellow costume a little bit more, just to see as they go that. Although I'm not sure how they're going to do that, because the whole point of his costumes is that they're really kind of he can blend into the dark. Even the red costume, it's a bit of a dark red, so you can't really have too much of a dark yellow. We'll have to wait and see as to how they do that, and which version they do that, because in the first appearance he has no D on his chest. Those are the second appearance, episode, Daredevil in the first 6 issues type thing. He has a bunch of different costumes with the 1D, 2Ds, and all that different stuff, and then the red costume. So I think it's going to be cool to see if they bring in one of those red-yellow costumes to kind of change it up at the end of this episode, at the end of the season. And I'm hoping, I'm not sure if I want them to kill off Wilson Fisk right now, or if I want them to just leave it the way it is. But at the same time, I'd rather put him away, leave him, but don't touch him, and don't have get another villain, and don't come back to him for another 3 or 4 seasons and make us forget about Wilson Fisk for a very long time. But at this point, it's even if you put him back away, how are you going to put him? Where are you going to do with him? Daredevil's going to have to get his own Lian Yu to kind of hide him or something. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see as to where things go with all that. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. Season 3, episode 12. One last shot, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.